is Tuesday, April 18th, 2017, and it is tax filing deadline day. Now, you may be asking yourself, why is the filing deadline today? Why isn't it April 15th like it usually is? Well, of course, this year the 15th fell on the weekend, which would typically push the filing deadline until Monday. But Monday the 17th was Patriots' Day in many parts of the country, including Maine, Massachusetts, and even in Wisconsin. If you're not familiar, Patriots' Day is a state holiday that remembers the battles at Concord and Lexington and celebrates many of the freedoms that we have here in the United States, which is sometimes difficult to remember when you're writing a check to the IRS. Now, in 1895, the U.S. Supreme Court, in a 5-4 ruling, actually ruled that the very first income tax was unconstitutional. And that's because the Constitution at the time required that any direct tax on the population be apportioned based on the state's population, which the first law did not do. But politicians continued to push for higher taxes, leading to the inheritance tax in 1898, the corporate income tax in 1909, and ultimately in 1913, the 16th Amendment, which paved the way for the modern income tax by removing the restriction for the apportionment. So today, income taxes are in the news again, not just because it's filing deadline, but because of the anticipation that the Republican-led Congress and administration will push for corporate tax reform, lowering corporate tax rates, and potentially individual income tax rates as well. And we believe that this has had the direct result of increasing the levels of the stock market. But over the past few weeks, we have moved into some rocky territory as that tax rate cut has become a little bit more in doubt. Well, it reminds me of a story related to my dad, who is now 85 years old. In the early 50s, my dad was a young man, and the presidential election was going hard and heavy, and he decided that Eisenhower was his guy, because Eisenhower pledged that no longer would we send our boys to foreign shores to fight our wars. So my dad, of course, voted for Eisenhower, and 6 months later, he found himself carrying an M1 rifle. So he always cautioned me that when you're dealing with politicians and the government, to be a little bit cautious. And so we continue to do that with your portfolio as well, as we increase the levels of cash and continue to wait for a little bit of a pullback to reinvest some of that capital from some of the gains we took earlier this year. Now, as always, if you've got questions about your particular account or your individual situation, please feel free to give us a call and we'd be happy to help you. Make sure you file your tax return and have a great week. And if there's anything we can do to help you, just let us know. Thanks very much.